Hi, everyone. My name is Sean Campbell. I'm an SE manager at Varonis. And today I'll be talking about protecting data at scale in Office 365. If this is your first time hearing about Varonis, we started operations in 2005. We have 7,000 plus customers today. The problem we solve, we help organizations bridge the gap between identity and data for visibility and control, both on-premise and in the cloud, with our unified data security platform. We were named a strong performer in the 2019 Forrester Wave for data security portfolio vendors. We focus on the most critical data stores. And as I mentioned, I'd like to talk about 365 today. Rapidly growing in popularity is Microsoft Teams, a front-end client that enables users to collaborate and seamlessly integrate with many other applications in Office 365. Now more than ever, it's crucial that employees have the tools they need in order to communicate and collaborate effectively, but also to engage with their coworkers across the organization. But the elephant in the room is data protection. Everyone can share SharePoint Online, OneDrive, and Teams data with anyone inside and outside the organization, making collaboration a potential security disaster. Today, I will demonstrate how collaboration through Microsoft Teams can easily cause sensitive data overexposure. Working remotely has become the new reality, but unfortunately, it's exposed not only the benefits of a work from home situation, which can lead to poor controls, low visibility, but it's unleashed a host of data security risks. And controls moved out of IT's hands. It's been delegated to end users who really have little to no security experience. It's really hard to keep tabs on where sensitive data ends up. Who has access to it? Is it exposed? Is it not exposed? Let's just take a simple conversation in Microsoft Teams, where unintentionally PII can be led to an overexposed state. Here we have a conversation between two friendly coworkers from different departments discussing a very current event that involves quite sensitive PII data over a seemingly innocent Teams chat. What could be wrong with that? This person was curious about the numbers around coronavirus and the positive test results. Have they gone down? In this healthcare organization, the person that she reached out to actually had access to the database where these numbers live. So that person just extracted that information out of the database, saved it into a spreadsheet, tried to give the file name a little indication that maybe don't move this file around, really for the sake of this person's curiosity. So went ahead, downloaded the file locally, uploaded it to Teams. Now that file lives in their local OneDrive account. So there's two copies of that file. And now by sharing it with that coworker who doesn't even belong to that department, they also have a copy of that file. Who knows what would happen? 5 minutes later, this same person has a conversation with someone from a completely different department, a whole different coworker, just a casual conversation, asking about what they're doing. That person is about to go get some lunch. They mention where, and she goes, wait a minute, I just read some really sensitive information about coronavirus positive test results in that same area. Maybe you shouldn't go there. Here, check out this file. And now that file gets shared with someone else who likely shouldn't have access to it. These two people probably shouldn't have access to this data at all. And Teams is one example of potential data sprawl. As a matter of fact, there was a statistic that said 59% of data breaches in healthcare specifically are caused by internal actors, just like employees like this. And quite frankly, exposed sensitive data is your biggest risk, period. And organizations now are trying to get ahead of these types of incidents from happening so that they don't end up as a headline in the newspaper. So what's really going on? Well, Teams isn't actually a data store. It's not even a platform, although it does touch almost all the integral parts of Office 365. Data is always stored on these locations. The data behind Microsoft Teams is stored on these platforms: SharePoint Online, OneDrive, Exchange Online, the objects that interact with it, all managed via Azure AD. So what does Varonis want to help do? So Varonis wants to help centralize visibility. How about we clearly see the impact of Microsoft Teams on your threat surface? So what type of data, what sites derive from Microsoft Teams? Where's the sensitive data concentrated? Can we get a granular view of who has access to this data, shared through Teams? How they get access in the first place? Are they sharing the data externally? Maybe you've chosen to block external sharing. That does not prevent folks from the same example that I showed earlier from moving data around internally within the organization, potentially putting in a state of overexposure. We'd also like to help provide visualization around risk in general. Let's zoom out. How many other files do we have that may have made their way out of a structured database and into an unstructured form like a spreadsheet? Do we have folks that are in Teams interacting with data in this way via chat, maybe creating channels, private channels, and sharing data that way? How do we grab control around this? So our dashboards will bring this to the surface and help visualize this much better. So you can understand at scale, where are our areas of risk? How much sensitive data do we have? How much of it is derived from Teams? Should folks be saving sensitive information in their personal OneDrive accounts? We offer a free risk assessment. A free Varonis risk assessment will show you what really happens under the hood when users collaborate in Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive. How easy is it for organizations to lose control over their critical data due to limited visibility into sensitive data exposure? How can we restore control, gain back visibility, insight, and action to reduce risk? And don't just take my word for it. We have plenty of customers, just like this senior manager of information security and compliance at a top US airline, who said they needed the visibility that Varonis provides. OneDrive is huge for them, but the current monitoring capabilities are very limited, especially in terms of the data people are storing and the type of forensics trail you need to understand how did a document containing positive test results for coronavirus end up in the news on behalf of our organization. How did that file get out? Where did that originate? Was it a Microsoft Teams chat? Was this file moved around because folks had access to it and they probably shouldn't have had access to it? So we're helping organizations get ahead of this today, and we'd love to help the next organization who's considering Office 365 if they're already there, or if they've just established a footprint and now they're starting to roll out Microsoft Teams, for example. And if that's you, book a follow-up with me. My contact information is here. Feel free to screenshot that, send me an email, give me a phone call. I'd love to have a chat, continue the conversation with you, and I'll finish that story of what happened with that spreadsheet containing test results for patients testing for coronavirus, and did that file end up getting locked down, and how? Stay safe. Thank you all for your time. Have a great day.